Welcome back, Firewood Addicts, to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. Today we're talking about these little things. Alright, so there's been other channels doing episodes on moisture meters, but I just wanted to give my own 2 cents. Sorry, a little windy today, hope that it won't get picked up. Anyway, so I have 3 here. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so let's start with this one here. This is a cobalt moisture meter. Turn it on. I think it's the mode button you turn on first, and it's set to wood right now. It says right there wood, and it came with the cap and these little things that protect the prongs, which is all great. That's all fine and dandy. Here you see it set. I think it says wood right there. So let's try it out. Let's try it out here. This is a piece of cedar in my hand. Put it in, and it reads 37. 35, something in there, and it has like all these. Try it again real quick. It has all these like other things on top. You see that right there? See that? And that to me is all fine and dandy, but I don't really need all that fancy stuff. Just give me a number, right? This is like a contractor grade moisture meter, and you can set it, I think, to like different. See here, I can set to a building material, wood. Other like concrete or drywall. There's too many options here. All I care about is wood. Okay, so if for me, this is in my truck. I hardly ever use it, but I have it in my truck just in case I'm on a delivery and the customer questions the dryness of the wood. So I have this, but it's in my truck because I don't use it very often. So this to me is like way too fancy. I think this one here was like $35, $40, maybe more. I'm not sure. If I can find it, I'll leave a link down in the description. But for me and Firewood, the simple is better. And then we have second one here is my General. I've had several of these. This is the one that I used to help pay for wood that I bought from someone, and he didn't tell me that the fee wasn't included. Anyway, it's an episode, like older episode if you wanted to check it out. But I like this one because it's simple. It's simple and it works, and I've already, good Lord, look at that. See this here in the background? See this? See my prongs? The prongs are already bent. It's not like I'm measuring oak like ironwood. I don't know. So anyway, so it read what, like 50 something ish with the other one. See what this reads. So this is currently reading off the charts. Okay, 40, 45. It's beeping at me, sorry. I need to turn off the sound. So one is reading one and one is reading the other. Sorry for the noise. Interesting. But I do like this one. But unfortunately, these prongs here, they don't last very well. Including, I had a post on my channel a few weeks ago, and I had a picture of of this one on, and you see that or not, it's literally at a 90-degree angle. It got bent that badly. Silly. So I went online, and I know when you buy this specific meter, it comes with another set of prongs to replace. Which is great. It's awesome. But what about next time? Do you buy a whole new thing because your prongs are bent? Well, you can buy replacement ones for this one here. And I got, so there are 2 sets here. Now these 2 sets was like $14, I think. When I first started to buy these were about $20. Now these are upwards of like 25, 30, I think. So you could buy a new meter, or just buy a few more sets of these and keep using this one. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll just be careful on the wood, but I think having more sets is great. I haven't found, now this is like where you use a wrench to undo it. I haven't found a wrench that's small. So what I usually use wire cutters or like pliers, and then turn it into place. Just be careful you don't crank too hard. So that's what I use. Okay, of that one. Third one is these little mini ones from Pittsburgh. They are sold at Harbor Freight. Now I think these have gone up in price too since I started buying them. They were $8. Now I think they're like 10 or 11. I forget. If I find them, I'll leave a link down in the description if you're interested. But I like these because they're pocket size and they're cheap enough where you can buy several. And I've talked about meters before. It's good to have more than one. I have them between my office, between my truck, between the wood yard, the garage, other places, so I know I can find one if one is lost. This one here is my main one. This is at where I make my bags and bundles of firewood. This one here is usually in one of my pockets in my coats when I'm outside. And so let's see what this one says. They're all rating different, which is funny. But I guess they're close enough, maybe, that using one and sticking with that brand is good to go. Maybe have two to compare with each other, make sure that one is not off or not. The one thing I don't like about this is it's small where you can lose them. They're so small that you can drop them or in your pocket and you just forget about them. The other part too is battery powered, and I'll show you just a second, hang on.
2,000 years later.
All right, they don't make these easy to open. Anyway, they have, the batteries are these like small batteries here. Now, I can do some research, and I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested of what they cost. But it's just one more thing to think about. These batteries aren't very common, and if you're like me, I'm going to buy this type of battery only for this one thing. Now, I do have small kids, and I think I have these batteries in stock because of these batteries are common for those books that will sing to you and read to you that the kids hit the buttons and makes noises. Anyway, so I think I have these in stock anyway in my house. But if you don't, and these are not a very common battery that you would need to replace things for, I don't know, like it's easy to buy a pack at Amazon, whatever, or the hardware store, or if this dies, then I guess maybe just buy a new one. I don't know, but the trick is when you unscrew this, you have to get this screw out. So use like very carefully some sort of like fine tipped thing like a knife and kind of pry the screw out, and then you can open this. But I have found that by using these ones from Harbor Freight, when you go to test it when it's on and you just test it in wood, if it's on and you stick it into the wood and it turns off right away, that means that the batteries are dying. There's enough power in it to turn on, but not enough power to give you a reading. So that would be the indication that it's time for a new set of batteries. So again, these are 4 of them. I have it right here. These so it takes 4 LR44 batteries. It's 4 of them. So you buy a pack and then you're set to go. But these are just three options. Again, I think I have. So again, having more than one makes sense to me. But if you're gonna buy one, I will go to the General as like your main one, and then have a few of these from Harbor Freight around town, so you always have one available. I think one of the things for firewood buyers is when you have to ask how seasoned is the wood, and if you mention a moisture meter and the seller doesn't know what you're talking about, or they don't have one, or they don't gauge at all, that will be a flag for me. Now, if I did not produce firewood and I only bought to burn for my own personal use, I would invest in a moisture meter. It does not have to be one of these, just a moisture meter that you can use yourself to confirm how dry the firewood is. Or if you buy it green and you're gonna stack it in your yard, bring one of these bad boys out and test the wood. Now, ideally, you wanna get in the middle of the wood, so you take a piece and you split it down the middle and test the inside. That I get. Now, a piece like this, I wouldn't do that, or maybe a size a little bit bigger, I wouldn't do that. I would just test the outside like here, and then then I would add maybe 2%. I've done an episode of this before, and my hypothesis and the work seemed to work out fine. Well, you don't necessarily have to test the inside. Have to take the time, take it to the splitter, take it to an axe, and split it down the middle, and then test the inside. What you do is you test the outside, and you add 2%, and that will give you a more reading versus having to take the time to split it in half. Anyway, I digress. If you buy firewood, I would invest in one of these or one like it to kind of gauge how fast your wood is drying in your wood yard. So, and these don't need to be fancy, they don't need to be complicated. This one here, I would say, is more complicated with the ebbs and flow, with all the analytics. I don't think that's needed. Something like this is simple and easy to use, and it's big enough where you won't lose it. If this was a bright orange, I think that would be better, so you don't lose it somewhere in your wood yard. I do like the Harbor Freight ones that fit in your pocket, and they're cheap enough where you can buy several and have them around town, like I mentioned. So that's just my 2 cents on moisture meters. I think that they are a good thing to have. Make sure that you know how to use them, and make sure that the people who are buying firewood from you are asking about how the percentage is of your firewood. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, remember, life's too short to be a prick, so be kind of another rock and roll. Stay safe, keep cutting. Cheers.